Freddy Fazbear is the most iconic character in the entire FNAF franchise, and always appeared as the face of most pizzerias that we saw. In all cases, he was one of the main threats that protagonist must survive. This is where Security Breach makes a twist, turning him into a wholesome friend and our main protector, who's ready to sacrifice everything if necessary. This is the tale of Glamrock Freddy. Freddy had a lot of versions throughout FNAF history, but every time he was the leading figure of the animatronic performers. Security Breach is not an exception, and Glamrock Freddy is the face and vocalist of Glamrock Band in the Mega Pizzaplex. Freddy appears as just a good guy with a big heart. He always tries to do good and believes that others are doing the same. But despite such great attitude, and him being the main star of this place, he is still treated like a mere instrument.
I already alerted the others. Now go back to your room.
If you're part of this, you're scrap. Monty will run the shows until parts and service can slap your casing on a new endo.
And this is not to mention how he was put in a freezer to save a cake that was inside his stomach hatch. While this great attitude is how he behaves for the most part of the story we see, the installation of Storyteller 3 didn't spare his character from changes, just like it did with everyone else.
Mr. Burrow's eyebrows arched as he watched Glamrock Freddy engage in a tugging match with a small pigtail girl. The object being tugged was a furry plus version of a vintage Freddy Fazbear. "That's mine!" the little girl screeched as she determinedly grasped the bear's arm. The girl's mother stepped forward and used her shoulder-length denim purse to swat Freddy on the arm. "Stop that!" the mother demanded. "Let go!" Before Mr. Burrows took one step, though, Freddy let go of the plush version of his predecessor. The sudden release of tension sent the girl reeling backward into her mother's embrace. Glamrock Freddy turned his back on the girl and her mother, stomped to the far side of his green room, hunched his shoulders, and started to cry.
One can see that this depiction of Freddy is very different from the one that accompanies Gregory on his path. These changes didn't stay for long, as the tree was dismantled. But another trouble arose when Gregory, or rather GGY, started to hack every system in the Pizzaplex and used Glamrock Freddy to spy on his friend Tony, who was doing an investigation of the Pizzaplex problems.
He looked to his left, and his feet faltered. He was being watched by one of the animatronics. Thinking that Freddy was just being friendly, the way animatronics were during their Sunday stroll around, Tony lifted a hand and waved it at the bear. Freddy, however, didn't return the gesture. He just kept his intense gaze on Tony, as if sizing Tony up. Suddenly chilled for reasons he didn't understand at all, Tony looked away from Freddy and hurried on. After a few more steps, Tony glanced over his shoulder. Glamrock Freddy was still watching him.
Presumably GGY also used Freddy to kill his therapists and Tony, but it's impossible to prove or disprove. As Security Breach approaches and Gregory is no longer shackled by Glitch Trap, Freddy falls on stage during a performance. The reasons why this happened are still unclear. It could have been interference from Gregory, it could have been because he's a prototype, and some even believe in theory that Michael Afton's soul could have possessed him. Freddy wakes up a few hours later in his green room, and he is met by a not very polite Gregory.
I am experiencing a malfunction. The recharge cycle is not complete.
Shh! Will you shut up?
Who said that?
I did! And down here.
Down where? I still do not see you.
Okay, listen. You were sleeping, so I opened the stomach hatch and climbed inside. Isn't there some other way for you to communicate with me besides talking so loudly?
Even if Gregory sometimes can be annoyed by Freddy or even rude, Freddy will never say anything in return. He is always polite, trusts Gregory from the get-go, and goes against the orders to save him from any harm.
You should be able to escape when the security doors reopen at 6 a.m. Until then, keep moving, and try not to draw attention to yourself. If there is another way out, I will help you find it. I promise.
When he wakes up, he is also rebooted into a safe mode, and it is pointed out that Freddy is not connected to Pizzaplex systems.
I will notify the main office. Connection error. I cannot connect to the main network.
It's the most reasonable explanation as to why Glitchtrap cannot influence him. And this severed connection is also a possible reason why he doesn't see Venny.
What was that?
That is a fountain. A fountain is a decorative reservoir used for discharging water.
Not the fountain. You didn't see the dancing rabbit lady right in front of us?
No, I did not.
This is crazy. It's like the whole place is trying to get me.
I am not.
Why?
I do not know. I want to help you. Maybe they want to help you too.
I doubt it.
While it is wholesome when Freddy shows how he cares about everyone around him, his belief in good intentions of others will be one of the reasons for the tragic events that will happen to his friends. His relations with all other Glamrocks are mostly positive. The closest to Freddy was Glamrock Bonnie, who disappeared a long time ago, but Freddy still misses him to this day.
There is no rabbit at the Mega Pizzaplex. Not anymore. I do not come up here anymore. I miss him.
After Bonnie vanished, Chica is left to be his closest friend in this place. They take a few bowling balls from Bonnie Bowl to hold it as a memory about him. As Bonnie is now gone, Freddy and Chica are trying to look out for each other. When Freddy glitched on a stage, Chica was the first who ran up to him, and when he received her voice box, he instantly asks about her well-being.
Is she okay?
Well, she's still functional.
That is a relief.
Their fear for each other is palpable, but after this night, they won't see each other again. Freddy points Gregory to several exits, and their party has been separated for a while. Gregory finds Freddy later lying behind the Roxy Raceway in an almost out-of-power state. Before shutting down, Freddy expresses his worries and tells Gregory what to do.
I was so worried. I waited and waited for you. I missed the hourly recharge and have been trying to get down to parts and service. I think something is wrong.
Is there anything I can do?
Help me get to parts and service.
Of course I will. How do we get there?
It is down under the main stage. Normally the stage lift takes me down there after every concert. That is really the only way I know how. Good luck, superstar. Entering rest mode.
Gregory does something in the backstage booth and Freddy receives a sudden boost of power, just in time to save him.
Jump down!
Freddy, you saved me! I'm so sorry. I couldn't find any lift controls.
On the way to parts and service, Freddy is knocked out by Moon and later interrogated by Vanessa.
He can be returned to his parents.
He can't. Turns out, there's no record of him.
How unfortunate. If you reattach my head, I will go look for him now.
His name is Gregory. You know how I know that? His Fazwatch kept repeating it, in your voice. Gregory, are you there? Gregory?
Vanessa, all the Fazwatches sound like me. It is the default voice option.
If you're part of this, you're scrap. Monty will run the shows until parts and service can slap your casing on a new endo. Hang out here for a while. I gotta find that kid.
Vanessa, do not leave me like this.
Hearing how he could be easily replaced, and seeing all the endoskeletons around him, Freddy begins to ask questions about his own existence.
I have never been allowed in here before. This must be where I was born. Look at all the endos. They're all the same. Have I always been a Freddy? Am I Monty with a different shell? What if I am not the first Glamrock Freddy? Are there more of me at other pizzerias? Do we all feel the same? Am I special? If I am mass-produced, am I still art?
Fixed by Gregory, Freddy gives him some advices how he could slow down other Glamrocks, but cannot comprehend the idea of doing any real harm to them.
There's so much tech stuff in here. Is there anything I can use to stop the other bots?
Bright lights in the eyes cause us to briefly malfunction. I suppose a phaser blaster or a phascam could work.
Freddy, check out these pictures. Chica has some sort of special voice box. Roxy has new eyes. And Monty was given better claws. We have to get these. We can upgrade you.
Gregory, those parts belong to my friends. I would never do anything to hurt them. They are not capable of hurting a guest. None of us are. It would go against our programming.
What Freddy doesn't understand in his naivety is that Gregory plans something that he won't like, and that every piece of information he gives can be used against his friends. Exploring more parts of the Pizzaplex, Freddy shows some strange and fun bits of his character here and there.
I wish I could join you, but after tonight's stage incident, I am not allowed to perform. When I step onto the West Arcade dance floor, I cannot stop myself. It is a programming bug. Shame on you, Gregory. We cannot enter together. That would be cheating. I am programmed not to cheat. You found the fire escape. Unfortunately, I do not think there is a way to reach it without becoming a VIP. It is not a very good emergency system. You are lucky there is not a fire. I have lodged a formal complaint.
Speaking so carefree, he tells Gregory about Chica's addiction and to search Roxy Raceway. And this will be the first milestones in everything that follows. Gregory in different ways shatters Glamrocks and takes their special parts to upgrade Freddy. After each upgrade, Freddy will be terrified by realization what fate has befall upon his comrades. He doesn't recognize Monty's clothes, but parts from Chica and Roxy are another case.
These are Roxy's eyes?
Well, yeah. There was an accident in the raceway.
Is she okay? Gregory, this upgrade, it was Chica's. Please be honest. How did you get it?
Now with Glamrocks out of the way, the night is almost over, and the doors are open. Gregory can leave the Pizzaplex, but there is one problem that still festers in this place.
Freddy, it's open, let's go!
No, I cannot exit this facility.
Of course you can! Come on! We can hide you somewhere!
Without a recharge station, my systems would shut down within an hour. It is a safety precaution. It is my design. This is where I must stay. Do not return. It will never be safe. I will miss you.
Freddy, if I leave now, nothing will change, will it? There will be more disappearances.
Yes, I am afraid that is correct.
They both decide to confront Vanny in her hideout. While Gregory runs to the Princess Quest arcade, To fight Glitchtrap and free Vanessa's mind, Freddy takes a stand against staff bots and he is completely outnumbered.
Disassemble Freddy.
Gregory wins Princess Quest and frees Vanessa. But Freddy shares his friend's fate, broken to a death door. Gregory and Vanessa took Freddy's still functioning head and left the Pizzaplex. Sometime after, they return to deal with the Mimic, and it's hard to believe that Freddy would have been left out of it. Even if he is only a head now, he could have provided useful advices or information. But one can only guess what Freddy would have felt if he saw what has become of other Glamrocks after that night. In Ruin, Cassie wanders around Pizzaplex, but for the most part of it, Freddy is absent. When Cassie rides a cart above Monty Golf, she sees a giant beheaded Freddy statue, a dark reference to his fate. Moving through Bonnie Bowl much later, in a small green room she finds a poster, which Freddy signed and gifted to Bonnie. "You and me, forever and ever. Love, Freddy." And when Cassie opens the farthest curtain in Bowling Alley, she discovers the remains of Bonnie himself. Freddy had no way of knowing that all this time his friend's body was hidden here, so close to his daily routine. After Bonnie Bowl, Cassie enters the Feather Blast, a place where Freddy and Gregory confronted Vanny. A usually lit and cheerful place now looks like an abandoned battlefield, where staff bots were fighting each other for batteries. And in the ventilation, someone left ominous messages, changing the name of Freddyfazbear into something dark and vile. Whoever wrote it must have been trying to warn any unfortunate soul who came here. But Cassie can't turn back, and she finally faces the star of this place, or what is left of him. Cassie is a long-time fan of Fazbear Entertainment, so of course she recognizes him. But it's no longer a friendly giant that she knew.
Freddy! Freddy? Are you okay? Please be functional.
After a short chase, Cassie puts on her augmented reality mask, and headless Freddy cannot be seen in it. This is most likely due to him being cut out from the Pizzaplex systems prior. With this mask, Cassie escapes, and Freddy's body is left to stalk the Feather Blast. That was the tale of Glamrock Freddy. A tale of a big heart inside a metal shell. How he became our friend and protector. Lost all who he cared for and sacrificed his own body. Maybe Gregory will find him a new one, but the scars on his synthetic soul won't be healed so easily. And still, when the time comes, one can be sure that Freddy will be by our side once more.
I will miss you.